Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and open AutoCAD. So here is my AutoCAD. I'm using a Mac. So please click on it. And then it's gonna open like this. Okay, so if you are using a Windows laptop, it's just gonna say AutoCAD 2025. Okay. So here I have a bunch of files because I've done this before. But what you're gonna do is click on New. Oh, sorry. Okay, again, File, New Drawing. Okay, sorry, I need to do this again. Okay, I'm gonna click on it again. Tekan pula. Okay, so you will see this new button, right? And then there's an arrow, what do you call this? Arrow down. And then you're gonna browse templates. Okay, browse templates. And you will use AutoCAD DWT, AutoCAD.dwt. Okay, AutoCAD.dwt. So I'm gonna click on that. So those are like basic templates that they already provide when you are using AutoCAD. But we will make our own template later. Okay, so now, is everyone following me? Have you guys opened AutoCAD yet?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna go over what these things are. Okay, so please, if you want to get your notebook to write down the commands, please do so. Otherwise, this lecture is recorded and you can always revisit them later. Okay, so here let's take a look at what this is. Maybe yours is up here. I'm not sure how the layout is, but we have draw, we have hatch here, we have a block here, modify, text, dimension, leader. So to ensure everyone is following me, I will mention the top part first so we can be on the same page together. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is talk about draw part. I believe this is the first thing that you will see anyways. So here you have line, click on it. And then it's asking you specify the first point. Okay, so what do we do? So here you can specify the first point to be at a certain coordinate. Let's say you want to start at 0, 0. So what I'm going to do is write 0, comma 0. So that is the coordinate. So I'm going to zoom out. To zoom out, use your, I don't know if you can see me, but the scroll button is the middle button of your mouse where you go, if you go upwards, you're going to zoom in, go downwards, it's going to zoom out. The middle button of your mouse. If you are using your trackpad, I am not sure how to do that. I think you need to figure that out, but if you're using a mouse, use your trackpad. Okay, so here we are zooming in, zooming out. Okay, I have specified the first point of my line, which is at coordinate 0, 0. So the way that you would know that we started at 0, 0 is that we see this X and Y axis. That means we're starting at 0, 0. If you don't see it, you are somewhere random, but that's fine. Sometimes coordinate is important, sometimes we don't really care for it. So it's up to you and depends on the question. If they need you to start at 0, 0, just follow it, okay? So here you can see that there is like a box that I can actually type. Let me do this again. Line, I'm going to start at 0, 0. Okay, so I have this box, this white color box that has a bunch of values. So I can actually type in there. So I'm going to type in the length of my line. So let's say I want my line to be 40. So that is giving me a line that has the length of 40. Okay, sometimes you don't want to do that and you want to write it down here. This box also serves as a command bar. This is actually called a command bar, whereby anything that you want to do, you can also type it in here. So let's say I want my line to be, how many just now? 40, right? So now I have a line that is 40, but it's not at the same angle as before. So how do I control the angle? Right. So I want to undo, I can do this by Control Z. I can also do it by escape, meaning to say I don't want to go through with the line command. I just type in Control Z or escape. Okay, again, line, click on anywhere. So I can specify the length in this box or the box down here. If I want to control the angle, I have over here ortho mode. Okay, I hope everyone is following me. Ortho mode. Ortho mode, you can see that there is a right angle. It tells us that if you are drawing lines, the lines will always be at 90 degrees angle. So let's try it. So now my line is only going to be 0 or 90 or 180 or 270 and so on. Okay. So this ensures that if I want my object to be a square or a rectangle, this will help me do that easily, and I can just specify the length 40. Okay, so that is the first length. Now, what if I don't want my angle to be 90? So here next to the ortho mode is this guy, polar tracking. We had ortho mode, and then which gives us 90 degrees, and then we have polar tracking. And if I click on this a bit longer, oh sorry, it doesn't work. Right click on this, I am able to choose 90, but that's basically just ortho mode. I am able to choose 45 degrees, 30 degrees, 22.5, 18, 15, 10, and 5. So let's say I want 30. I'm going to click on that. So I'm going to try again to use line. I'm going to click on line, and then I am going to try to start at the same point. But how do I ensure that it is actually the same starting point? So I have another feature that helps to do that. It's called object snap down here. Object snap. Object snap, down here. This is my mouse. It's down here, object snap. So right clicking object snap, I make sure that object snap is clicked on, and I want endpoint to be clicked, to be selected. Right click, endpoint selected, midpoint selected, center, quadrant, intersection, and we will work with this view first. Okay, so now that I have object snap, I'm going to click on it, make sure it's highlighted in blue to make sure that it is on. And then now there's a green guideline that tells me if I want to start my line, this is the starting point, right? So now my polar tracking is off because I can easily do other angles, which I don't want. I want this to be 30 degrees. I'm going to click on that. Right click, 30. Okay. So now 30 degrees is there's a green guideline. Okay, green guideline that tells me this is 30 degrees. And what should be the length? I don't know, maybe 30. So now I have a line that is 30 in length as well as has an angle of 30 degrees with respect to this straight line. Okay, so what have we learned so far? We learned to use line. We talked about how we can specify the length. We talked about how we can specify the angle as well through ortho mode, gives us 90 degrees. And then we have polar tracking, and then we have object snap. So those are three features down here and one command under draw. Okay, everyone okay so far? Easy, right? Okay?
Okay, doctor.
Okay. Okay, so now that we have learned line, let's try to use the command bar. So I'm going to type in line here. So you can see that if I type line, I can click on it and I can actually use it as if I'm using this thing. It's the same thing lah, basically. So here, if I scroll over to line, it says command is line. So if I just want to type it here, I can just type line. If I want a circle, I just type in command circle. If I want a rectangle, I can type in command rectangle. But most of the time, it is much easier to just click than to write. Okay, so that is another option, because sometimes you can't remember where the location of these commands are. You just type it if you remember. Okay. Oh, sorry, forgot to mention that one. Okay, so how do we delete this? So there are two ways to delete this. If I click on here from left side, okay, click and then drag. I click on it and remove my hand and I drag it, I will get a blue box. Okay, escape. And then if I start from the right, I click and then, click and take out, take out my hand. Click and just leave it. And then you can see that the box is green. What does this mean? So the blue and the green box has two different meanings. So here, if I'm using the green box, which is clicking from the right side, if I overlap the object by just a little bit, I am already selecting the entire object. This is the object lah. But if, okay, now I'm going to Control Z. What if I use the blue box? I'm clicking from the left side, dragging it. Okay, I'm trying to do the same thing as with the green box, but even if I select a little bit of this object, it's not selecting it. So the blue box, if you want to select something, you have to select everything for it to be selected. Only then it will be selected. Okay, for the green guy, I can just overlap a little bit and it's already selecting the object. And then I can delete it. So sometimes you need to be very specific. So the green box is the way to go. Sometimes you want to just remove everything. So the blue box is the way to go. So what have we learned? We learned how to use, how to select using the blue box, which is to click from this side to here, and then the green from here to here. Okay, please try it yourself. Okay, so now I've taught you delete and also this guy. Okay, let's talk about this. This is basically just grid. Without it, you don't have your grid, and this is selecting your grid. Very minor. I like using grids. It helps me to see where the object should go. Sometimes people don't like that. You can get rid of it. Okay, so now let's go over to draw. Let's go over draw. So here I have a polyline. I'm going to use it and make a random object. Maybe I'm just going to make a rectangle. Okay. And then I'm going to make a rectangle using line. I want to show you the difference between those two. Okay. So for polyline, this is the rectangle drawn using polyline. As you can see here, if I try to select it, it is selecting everything. Because polyline, when we draw it, it treats the different lines as one object. They are joined together. But if we draw using line, each line is a separate object, as you can see over here. Okay, so I can easily delete if I don't want it. But for polyline, if I select one, I'm selecting all. And if I delete, I'm deleting all of it. And then we have circle. Okay, circle. Circle. Now it's asking us, specify center point for circle. So I don't really mind, wherever, just click. And then here you are supposed to specify the radius of the circle. So let's say I want the radius to be 5. Okay, so I will have a circle of radius 5. What if the information that I have is diameter? So I can also click on this guy, click on it for a long time, and you will get circle center radius, which was the command that we just used. We also have circle center diameter. So let's say I want to use this and I am specifying that the diameter is 5. So how would you imagine this to look like? It is going to be half the size of a circle with radius 5. So this is using diameter 5. This is using radius 5. Because this circle has a diameter of 10 because the radius is 5. Okay. So again, clicking on this for a long time, we can also use circle 2 points and circle 3 points, circle tangent, tangent radius. We will cover this later. Circle tangent, tangent, tangent. So circle 2 points, just you have to click twice. So let's say you want to start here and you want the circle to end over here. So you can also do that. And same case for 3 points as well. So you can explore that later. Now we have rectangle. Okay. So if you click on rectangle command for a long time, you can see that there are two things here. Rectangle and polygon. So let's go over rectangle first. Rectangle, you can specify the length, the X and the Y. So let me start. So here in the command bar, you can see that there is area, dimensions, and rotation. So let's say you have, you want a rectangle of specific area. So how would you do that? So you would type in A for area. How do I know area is for A? Because this is the capital letter for each of the sub command. So if I want dimension, I would type in D. If I want rotation, I will type in R. Actually, I don't know what rotation is. I haven't used it. But I know area and dimension and we will use that a lot in this class. So I can type in A or I can type in area. So right now it's asking me what's the area of the rectangle that you want to do. So let's say I want it to be 50. So now it's asking me what should the length be. Length is 10. So if I specify the length, they will automatically make the width for me because I have specified the area. So you have an area, you have the length, but you are lazy to do the width, they can do it for you. So that is the beauty of AutoCAD. This is much, much easier than using the manual drawing. You are lucky. So consider yourself blessed. Okay, so we have covered what? Line, we covered polyline, we covered circle, we covered rectangle. But there's another command under rectangle which is called polygon. Now, a polygon is something that has more than 4 sides. So, polygon, now you have to enter the number of sides. Let's say I want my sides to be 6. So, I can type in 6 down here in the command bar. Specify the center of the polygon. Sometimes you want to specify the center, sometimes you want to specify the edge. In this case, I'm going to start with the center. So I'm going to do it. Let me scroll over here, and it's asking me, do you want it to be inscribed in a circle or circumscribed about a circle? I'm going to tell you about this later. So let me pick one. So I want it to be inscribed in circle. So I'm going to specify the radius to be 10. Okay. And then let's do another one whereby the radius is also 10. The number of sides is 6. Specify the center, circumscribed about the circle. So I have two polygons. One is inscribed in the circle, one is circumscribed outside the circle. So you can see that this guy is slightly bigger, this guy is slightly smaller. So let's find out why. Why is it smaller? So now I want to specify the center of the polygon. I can't find the guide. So what should I do? I can't find the midpoint. What should I do? What should I do, guys? So if I can't find the midpoint, I can find the edges, no problem. I can find the guides for edges. I can find everything else, but except the midpoint. There's no green button guiding me. So I need to figure out if my object snap has it. Okay, so there is a midpoint, but there's no geometric center. So AutoCAD has two different types of midpoint. One midpoint is for lines or something that is very symmetrical. I think mostly it's used for lines. But if you can't find it, use geometric center. So hopefully we can find it. Yes. Now if I try to find the center, I can find it because there's a guide and it's going to help me click on it. So this is the center. I'm trying to draw a circle. Bear with me. Okay, so it's starting from the edge, which I don't want. Let me try again. Circle, center, radius. Okay, circle, center, radius. Find the geometric center and then I specify the radius to be 10. So here is something that is inscribed within the circle of the same radius. The circle has a radius of 10. This polygon also has a radius of 10, but it is inscribed within the circle. It is inside. So sometimes you need this for screws and stuff like that. You can draw that. And for this guy, let's try to use circle again, find the midpoint, and then specify the radius to be 10. And you can see that the circle is now inside the polygon. So that is why this polygon of 6 sides is bigger than the same polygon that we tried to do. One is inscribed, one is outside of the circle. So those are the two different polygons. Okay, so the next thing that I want to teach you is array. Do I want array? Let's do copy first. Okay, so copy is going to be under modify. So please find modify. Modify. I'm going to delete this circle just because you don't have to delete it if you don't want. I want to go over modify and I want to copy. So again, you can click on copy or you can type it in this command like that. So now I'm selecting the object that I want to copy. Okay, selecting with your mouse, enter, specify the base point. So now you can see that I need to specify the base point of which I want to copy this object. So if I copy the object at its center, the copy will start from the center. The copy will start from the center. Okay, escape. If I want to copy from the edge, I'm selecting the object, enter, specify the edge. I will be copying this at the edge lah. Okay, so now I'm going to copy this at the edge, copy this, the edge, copy this at the edge, copy that. So now I have something that looks like that. Simply using polygon and copying. Okay, I want to delete this. So I'm going to delete that. Okay, everyone following me? Does anyone want me to repeat any commands? Everyone still okay? Or lost? I can repeat if you want. Please let me know.
Doctor, can you repeat the edge copy?
Edge copy, okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, what about other commands? Any other commands? Orang lain macam mana? What about the rest? You guys okay? Okay, so I'm going to start with polygon again. Okay, I'm going to draw the polygon. I want number of sides to be 6. Specify the center. I don't care where it should go. I'm going to do it inscribed in circle. My radius is going to be 10. Okay, it's slightly bigger than just now. Oh, no, it's the same. Okay, so this is my polygon. Now I want to copy this guy and I'm just going to do this, or I can select it using my mouse. I can also select it using the green box. I'm calling it a guy. Okay, so I can select this object multiple ways. Clicking on it, use the blue box, use the green box, either way. So now I'm going to type in, add in the command bar, because I like typing, copy. Very easy. So now I'm going to specify the base point. So if I want to, have my reference point at the edge, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the edge. I can select here, select here, select here. It doesn't matter because I want to align this like this, right? So I need to select it at the edge. Okay. So here now you have your copy, and it started where from your base point, the base point that you selected. You can see that my cursor is at the same point as the base point that you selected. Now you're going to align the edge of your base point to the other edge of the object that you copied just now, like that. Okay, let's say you want to do a honeycomb, you can also do that. It's going to be a little bit hard because your reference is at the edge, but we can still make it work. Okay, so now you have something that looks like a honeycomb. Okay. Okay, everyone okay so far? Any other commands that you need me to repeat? Our class is pretty small, so feel free to ask. Don't be shy. Okay, so I'm going to proceed. Next would be, let's see. Okay, so we talked about a line, we talked about polyline, we talked about circle. We also talked about polygon and rectangle. So you know the difference between polyline and line. Polyline is joined together, line is separated. And then we have circle with center. We also have circle with radius, circle with diameter. We have rectangle, we have polygon. Polygon does not have to be 6 sides. You can have more. Okay, so this is just an example. And then we also talked about copy. Okay? It's under modify. It looks like this. Okay. Okay, so the next command that I'm going to show you is mirror. Okay, mirror looks like this triangle. Mirror, eh? Okay, click on it. So now if you click on mirror over here, it is also going to show in your command bar. If you don't want to use your mouse, you can type in mirror. Okay, so mirror. So now I'm going to select the object that I want to mirror. For example, I want to mirror this thing lah. Okay, I want to mirror this honeycomb that I made just now. It doesn't matter, you don't have to follow me exactly. Mirror whatever that you have drawn. Select it. You can select it using the blue box or the green box, and then enter. Okay, so now you would specify the first point of your mirror. So now imagine that you have an object that you are placing in front of a mirror. Where should your mirror be? So I want my mirror to be up here. So what I'm going to see, if I look up, I'm going to see the image of my object. So I want my mirror to be over here. So now it's asking, erase source object. No, I want it to be still there. Okay, so this is if my mirror is over here. It is going to give you the exact object symmetrically at the other side of the line. So I'm going to use mirror again. But this time I want my mirror to, combine these two things together. So mirror, I'm going to type it. Select object. Okay, I'm selecting the same object, enter. And then I'm going to specify the first point. Let me try over here. Okay, maybe not like that. So I can actually play with the line of my mirror. So again, mirror. Let's say we are selecting this object. Don't forget to click on enter or return if you're using a Mac. Let me try over here. So I am going to get something that looks like that. If my mirror line is here, it's just duplicating the same object, but at this point. So they're gonna overlap. Okay, again, mirror, select object, enter, specify the endpoint. Okay, so you can make multiple copies. You can also use copy, but copy is not going to give you like that mirror image. So copy, you can drag it anywhere you like, but mirror, you can't specify where you want it. It will always be across the mirror. It will always be replicated across the mirror line. Okay, so that's the difference between copy and mirror. And then we have trim. The next command is trim, T-R-I-M, trim. I'm going to type it here, trim. In this panel, it looks like a scissor. Okay, so trim. I am going to trim the inside of this so that it looks like a flower. Oh no, it already looks like a flower. I'm just going to trim it anyway, like that. So I can actually select what I want to get rid of. Maybe I don't want this structure inside here. I'm gonna trim it. Trimming is like erasing using a little eraser. Okay, so what have we covered so far? We have covered copy, we have covered mirror, and we have covered trim. Now, let's make a circle. Okay, if anyone wants me to pause and repeat any commands, please unmute yourself and ask away because I can't see you guys. So please ask me if you need to. Okay, so I'm making a circle. Okay, let me specify the size again. Circle of 30. Okay, let's assume that. Okay, now I'm making a circle. I'm going to teach you how to use offset. So offset, O-F-F-S-E-T. I can click on here or I can type offset. Okay, so now it's asking me offset, specify offset distance. So I'm gonna say offset distance will always need to be smaller than your object. So I'm gonna say maybe 2 or 5. I'm gonna do 2 first. So now it's asking me select the object to offset. So this is what I want. If I drag my cursor inside, it's going to offset by 2. If I drag my cursor outside, it's going to offset outside by 2. So that is the beauty of offset. I love offset command. It's going to make our lives easy. Sometimes you need offset also works like a copy, but it's scaled. But never mind. We're gonna use offset later. Okay, so that is offset. And let me see. Stretch, maybe later. Scale. Okay, scale. Okay, maybe later. Okay, and then let's talk about arc. Arc is under draw. Okay, over here in this panel under draw, I want to specify an arc. So I'm going to click on it. There's a bunch of commands under arc. I would like to use arc start, center, end. Okay, start here, center, and the end. So what I got is something that I can't see. My bad. That was a bad example. Let me try again. Specify a start point. specify the center and specify the end, like that. So I have an arc. Okay, again, other arc, 3 points. 1, 2, 3. You can play around with arc to figure out how you want to use arc later. I would say that arc requires some learning curve because it's not that easy to control it. So what I would do is I'm going to make a circle, make some lines, and then trim it if I need my circle to be very angled. But if your arc is very loose or free flow, then arc is the way to go. Okay, so that is arc. And then we have spline. Spline is almost like freehand drawing. First point, second point, third point, fourth point, fifth point, sixth point. Doesn't matter, it's freehand. I think you have a similar command in PowerPoint. It's called, I don't remember the name, but this is how you use it. Just click and you will get your sheet. Okay, of course, it's also a learning curve. Anything that is flowing very freely, it requires some learning curve. It's very, uncontrollable. Okay, so we talked about arc, we talked about spline. We are going to talk about central line later, construction line later, ellipse later. Point is just a dot. You want a dot? They are giving you a dot. Okay, you can just make a dot. So you want to select this dot, select it. And then we have a break line symbol. This is going to be used in your engineering drawing later. Basically, you make a line and then specify the point that you want to indicate a break. So there's your break. Looks like that. Okay, nothing fancy. Okay, what else? I think those are the important ones before we start with our first activity. So anything that you want me to repeat before we start with our first activity? Everyone is okay? Yes, no? Okay tak? Are you guys okay? Okay, so thumbs up, thank you. I have someone raising their hand. Siapa tak nampak? Anyone wants to ask a question? Stop presenting first. Any questions so far? We have had our class for like 1 hour and a half now. No questions? Okay. So I'm going to continue. Okay, so how do we get rid of this easily? How do we remove everything? Anyone? What should be the command? No one knows? There's no command. You need to click, right? Okay, that was a trick question. Come on, guys. You need to use your brains this morning. Do not sleep. Okay, so I already got rid of everything. So let's head over. No, don't head over. Just follow my screen. I'm going to open my PowerPoint. So here is our first activity. So we have learned the basic features of AutoCAD. We talked about ortho mode. We talked about polar tracking. We talked about object snap. Here it's called O snap. Auto snap is the same thing as object snap actually. We also talked about copy. We talked about mirror, offset. Oh, we did not talk about chamfer, fillet, erase, and trimming. Okay, this is what I'm missing. And we talked about how to use the mouse. I told you if you want to zoom in, you need to scroll upwards, scroll downwards. That is how you zoom in for AutoCAD. And then, okay, maybe I can go over chamfer and fillet really quickly. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm going to make a polygon.
Hi, Doctor.
Wait,
Okay, I'm not sharing, sorry.
Yeah.
Bagus. Okay, share entire screen. Okay, so I'm going to make a polygon over here, or you can type it down in the command bar. Okay, Specify 6 as your sides. I want my polygon to start at the center. Inscribe in the circles, radius is 10. Okay, nothing fancy, zoom in. Okay, so now we're going to use chamfer. Now keep in mind your object has a size of, it was inscribed in a circle of radius 10, right? So the radius 10 would mean that across here is going to be 20, diameter 10. So that is the maximum size. So now let's find where chamfer is. Where is chamfer? Chamfer. Okay, under modify panel over here. Okay, chamfer looks like that's fillet. Where's chamfer? Chamfer. This is why I don't like finding the commands here. I actually like typing. I don't like to memorize where it is. Where is it? Okay, it's under fillet. Okay, so fillet and chamfer. Because I've used AutoCAD from 2021. They keep on changing the place, so I can't remember. So fillet. Let's start with fillet first. Select the first object. Okay, so this is, wait. Okay, click on fillet. Okay, here in the command, it did not ask me to specify the radius, but it should have. But because it did not ask us, we need to specify the radius ourselves. So what does it mean when we specify the radius for a fillet? So if you can see over here, the fillet looks like an arc. It looks like an arc. So we need to specify what radius does the arc have. But for you to specify the radius of the arc, it should not be bigger than what this object can accommodate. So we will start with something that is always going to be smaller than the object. So first I'm going to type in R to specify the radius. And I'm going to use a radius of 2 for now. Okay, so now I have specified the radius of fillet. I'm going to select the first object or the line that I want to make the fillet, right? I'm going to make a fillet between these two. So this edge is going to be flattened out. So select this guy and select that guy. So now I have something that looks like very modern. So you will notice that a lot of modern designs likes to use fillet. I don't know why. But yeah, it looks good. But it's hard to fabricate. So this is fillet. So what happens if you specify a radius that is bigger? So let's try. Fillet, click on it, radius, specify, type in capital R in the command bar, R. And I'm going to make a radius that is bigger than the one just now. Now we're going to do 5. So again, specify the lines. So now you can see that the arc is much bigger because it belongs to a circle that has a bigger radius. So that is how you control how far you want it to be flattened. Okay, so that is fillet. So next one is chamfer. So here fillet is like rounded edges, right? Chamfer is not rounded, it's just going to flatten your edge. So it's just tipit lah. So chamfer, click on it. Now it's going to ask you what the distance is. So what distance are they talking about? Okay, so let's try it first. Type capital D. So that is distance. The first distance, I want my chamfer to be symmetrical. So I'm going to specify the same distance. So let's try with 2, enter, 2, enter. I have specified the distance. For chamfer, you need 2 distances, and I will explain in a bit why. So now I'm going to select the first line over here and the second line. Okay. Undo. I'm going to do that again. Chamfer, specify the distance, capital D, 2, enter, 2, enter. Okay, look closely. First line, second line, second line. So you can see that there is a distance here. right? The distance that they are cutting actually. 5. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so that is the distance that they are cutting. So let's say we want our chamfer to be distance 5. Let's find out how it looks like. Chamfer, okay, capital D, 2 and 5, enter. Let's try it over here. Number 1, number 2. Okay, so here you can see that this distance is short, this distance is bigger. 5, 2. Okay, so that is how you use chamfer. So most of the time in engineering drawing, they will tell you the distance of chamfer, 5 by 5, 2 by 5, something like that. Okay, so don't worry. So that is how you use fillet and chamfer. What else did I miss? Offset, we did that. Erase. Erase is pretty straightforward. Looks like an eraser. Just erase that. Enter. Okay. Undo. Trim is different than eraser. Let's figure it out. Trim. Eraser. Erase. Erase. Erase gets rid of the entire object. Okay, like that. So I prefer to use trim. Our drawing is very valuable. We don't want to get rid of it so easily. So use trim. Or use the blue thing and the green thing to specify. And then delete. Okay. What else? Okay, so I think that's it for now. Let's go over the lab activity. We have already spent almost 2 hours doing this. So hopefully everyone got the commands. Again, feel free to explore this on your own. You need to explore it on your own to, really grasp it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to draw a title block. So if you have watched my lecture, you will know what this thing is. It is basically a template for your engineering drawing. So we are making the template for the rest of the semester. So for this template, in my lecture, I told you that this border is going to be slightly bigger. But for this class, let's just make it the same size because we don't have a binder to bind. We're just going to print it on PDF. So let's just make it symmetrical all the way. Okay, so this is 420 up here, 297. You can use rectangle, you can use line to do this. And then you can use offset to make the inside, right? So how much should the offset be? So this is 400, this is 420, which means that your offset needs to be 10, 10. What about this guy? Can we offset as well? So this is 297. I should do slideshow. This is 297 and this is 277. The difference is 20. We have 2 gaps. Assuming they are symmetrical, 20 divided by 2 is 10. So the offset is 10 over here, 10 over here. So I can just use offset of 10 to do this entire inside the border. Basically, the border is an offset of 10. Okay, get rid of this. And then we have, this is supposed to be a line. I don't know why it's missing. So we have this box 52, 52, 52. The length over here is 12, 12, 12. This is 78, 70. This is actually 78 times 2 for the name. This is 78, 78. This is 78 times 2. And then we have this 121. And then I will teach you how to attach image over here. I will teach you how to write your name inside the boxes. I will teach you how to change the font size. Okay, so let's get started. Let's go over to AutoCAD again. I don't know how you're viewing this. Maybe you're watching on iPad and doing it on your laptop. I don't know. Maybe you are watching this on your phone. I hope you are finding a way to do this, okay? So we have, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna make this on one side and AutoCAD on the other side. It's going to be a bit smaller. Like that. Okay, so bear with me. It's a bit smaller, but after we got the dimensions, I'm going to make this full screen again. Okay, so first let's start with our first rectangle. You can use line, you can use rectangle, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna use line. I'm going to specify the first point as 0, 0, because why not? And then what should I use to make this? Oh, I have a bunch of drawings not deleted yet. Okay, let me delete that first. Okay, line again. I'm going to start at 0, 0. And what should I use to make this 90 degrees? I should use ortho mode. Okay, so now my length should be 297. I'm just going to type that in. And then on the right side, it is going to be 420. Just going to type that in as well. Very easy. I want this to be guided because this should be a rectangle. If you use rectangle, you don't have to worry about this part. I'm going to start from here. Please bear with me over here. Okay, follow my cursor. From here, I'm going to go over here so that I get a guide. See, I have the guide now. If I remove it, the guide is gone. From here, I'm going to go over here so that I have a guide. Hilang pula dah. I have a guide to over here. Click on it. And then I'm just going to complete the rectangle. So that is my rectangle. This is your A3 size drawing paper. Why do I have a dot here? Let me get rid of it. Okay, delete. Okay, next thing, offset. I'm going to type it here because I'm lazy to find it. Offset. What should the offset size be? It should be 10. Type in 10. Select object to offset. So because this guy is not joined together, I need to offset individually. But I don't want to do that. So I'm going to escape first. I'm going to select my rectangle or my lines and type in join. So now I have converted my line into a polyline. What does polyline mean? It means that the lines are joined together. Poly means multiple, right? So poly means multiple lines that are of the same object. So now I'm going to offset. Type in 10. Select your rectangle that you have joined, or you can do it, you can do each line one by one. So I'm going to drag the cursor inside so that I have an offset of 10. Like that. Okay, everyone still following? Okay, everyone okay? Does anyone want me to repeat? Okay, all right. So how do you make sure what you're doing is correct? So let's find out what your dimension is. So this is a new command. Just now I told you about join. Now I'm telling you another command is called, first I need to escape because my command bar has offset here, escape. What is it? I lost my train of thoughts. This is what old age does to you. What did I want to do? Offset, I did that. Apa saya nak buat tadi? Saya lupa lah.
You said you taught us the join and then you want to teach us the new command.
Okay. That still doesn't help, but thank you. Okay. Okay, maybe I'm gonna hold on to that thought later. Okay, maybe we'll do something else first. Okay, click on line. Okay, I'm gonna make sure your object snap is turned on. Okay, make sure it's selecting the guide at the edge of your border, not the outside, inside. Click on it and make a line going upwards with size 12. Okay, like that. Okay, so you have a line size 12. Escape. So now you can't really see it, but it's there. So if I select it, the line is there. Okay, why am I doing this? Because I want to offset this line and make multiple boxes for this. Oops. can't zoom in, I forgot. Okay. This guy. Okay, so 12 and 52. So what I need to do is offset this line by 52. Offset. Okay, specify offset distance. Type in D. And my distance should be 52. Enter. So here you can see that if I select this object to offset, I am making another line at 52. I am selecting this object again. I'm going to make another line at 52. So now I have two boxes. I need another one. So I'm going to select again, 52, like that. Okay. And then the next one would be 78, right? But first we need to connect this. Of course, this is just doing this very, very slowly so that you can follow me. If you want to do this very fast, you can do so. I don't mind. Okay. So next one is making another line of 12 going upwards. Now I'm going to offset this guy again, but now it's going to be offset by 78. So type in offset 78. Okay. I'm going to do this twice. Okay. And then I'm going to connect these lines together like that. Make another line of 12. And then I'm going to use this as a guide to complete this rectangle. Like that. Okay, I'm going to wait for you guys to do it. I'm going to give everyone 5 minutes. Please catch up. Oh, okay, I remember already. Okay, the next command I'm going to show you is dim. Okay, next. Okay, 5 minutes, 10:05, I'm going to start again. So please catch up if you have not done this yet. Excuse me. Pukul 10 dah cepatnya. Palette. Okay, 2 more minutes. You can also complete the rest of the diagram. This guy is 121 and 36. So very easy, just 121 and going down is 36. Done. Okay, 1 more minute. Please catch up the best you can. Okay, 10:05. Okay, so I'm going to continue. So the next command that I'm teaching you is making sure that what you draw is actually correct. So this was the one that I forgot. So dim or dimension. Dim is short form for dimension. Type in dim, or you can also find it here, dimension. Okay, click. So I'm going to find out if what I actually drew is correct. So I can't really see, right? I can't see what the number is. So it's 104 to 120. So we will make sure that we can see the dimension. So let's edit that. Okay, I'm gonna delete this guy first. And what you're gonna do to edit the dimension details is this, dim style. The command is dim style if you want to type, or it's just the paintbrush next to the dim. Click on it. Okay, so I have a dimension style manager. All the things that you need to edit in this AutoCAD is going to be called style manager. You have a style manager for text, you have a style manager for lines, you have a style manager for, in this case, dimensions. So what we're going to do is click on standard, and then you are going to click on setting button over here. This setting is the gear button, and then you are going to click on modify. Okay, modify. And then currently the text height is 0.18. Now here in the lab activity, if you did not see it, but it mentions there that the text height should be 4. So we're going to specify 4. Like that. Okay, so I'm not done yet. So I'm going to click on modify again. Let's just see what else do we have. We have text here. Text style is standard. We have text color by block, so let's not worry about that yet. Fill color is none, text height is 4, and the scale is 1. And then you have the placement, vertical, centered, horizontal is also centered. View direction is from left to right, like the normal way of writing things. And then offset from the line will be 0.09. So this offset, I think you can have an idea what it means. It means where your text will start from the line that you specify. So you can change that later if you need to. Okay, so I'm going to just use horizontal alignment. Do we want to use? Okay, let's just go with horizontal first. Okay, let's see how it changes our dimension now. So hopefully it changed. So I'm clicking on dim again and finding out if I can actually see the dimensions now. It's a little bit bigger, not that big. So here I have like 4 decimal places. I don't want that. We need to modify it again. So let's start again, modify your alternate units. Let me check. Kenapa tak boleh tukar? Primary units is decimal. Round off is 0. Precision is should be just 2. Okay. So under primary units, you have precision. I want you to select 0.00 only. So let's just work with 2 decimal places and not make our heads have a headache or migraine. Okay, unit format is decimal. Decimal separator is period. Sometimes they use comma. I believe US sometimes use that. Don't use it. We use ISO, International Standards. And then round off to, let's not care about that. As long as your precision is correct, I think we are going good to go. So okay, close. I'm going to delete this again and see if it changes to what we want. Okay, let's try again. Dim. So the reason why we can't really see the dimension here is first because I'm using a very small window. Second is because this thing is huge. It's 420. Of course, a 4 text is not going to appear as much. But now we have the right position. How do we make sure that the text is actually 4? Use line. Okay, let's try to figure it out. Agak-agak. I'm going to type in 4. So it does fit into the box. Okay, so I typed in the line. I made a line of length 4. It does seem to look as if it has a height of 4. That's just approximation. Okay, I like to go by logic and common sense, so that's how I check things as well. So dim again, find out if your length is correct. 297, correct. This guy, 121. Oops. Again, dim to here, 156. And then again, dim. Why is this 15? Okay, so I made a mistake. This is slightly bigger. Okay, let me redo this. Let me check the rest. Okay, so this is 12. This is 12. And this is 12. Like that. Okay, the rest. What else am I missing? This is 52, correct. This is going to be 78. Wait, dim. Seems like it's not very accurate. I must have not used the guide properly. So make sure it's 78. How do I fix this? Okay, never mind. I'm going to fix the one that is the most blaring here. Which one was it? It was here. Okay, so the size is wrong. Betul dah. Sorry. What am I measuring? I'm measuring the dimension, not here. So I already have 12, 12, 12. This is the length of the dimension. So never mind, I got it right. Except for the 78 was not very accurate. I'm going to try again. I'm going to offset this. And then specify offset distance. It's already specified 78. I guess I should have changed the decimal points just now, but it's okay. So 78. I'm selecting object. Boleh lah pula. I selected the dimension instead. Okay, let me delete this. Okay, so always try to go back to your work and figure out if you've done something wrong, because we are human, right? 78, enter. Okay. So if my dim is giving me something else, it means that it's just too precise. Select. Okay, we got the 78 this time. Okay. So I got everything right. I'm going to delete the dimensions because we don't want it in our template. Okay. So now let's try to use text. The next command is text. So what have we learned so far? Okay, we learned about line, we learned about polyline, we learned about circle, we learned about polygon, we learned arc, we learned spline, and then we also learned about dimension and how to modify the setting for dimension. We also talked about mirror, we talked about copy, we talked about trim and erase. We talked about fillet and chamfer. We talked about offset. There's one thing that I forgot, which is scale and, no, it's two things, scale and array, but that's okay. We will do that later. Okay, so the first time I learned AutoCAD, the way that I tried to remember commands is that I would write it down in a notebook instead of, remembering these icons, because, who remembers these things? I would write them down and what the functions are. And then if I needed to go back, I would just refer to my notebook. Okay, so if I want to do this, this is the command that I use. So make sure you find a way to learn these things. You don't have to follow my style, but I'm giving you tips on how to learn. Okay, it's up to you basically. Okay, next one is text. So I'm going to click on text. So here it's asking me to specify the first corner. Okay, I'm going to zoom in to this. Here, I'm not going to start at the edge. So I'm going to untick object snap. I'm going to untick it. If you untick this, it's not going to be highlighted in blue anymore. So start from here to here, like that. So I'm going to type in my name. Now, the text is really, really small. Can't really see it, which means that we need to modify the text. So delete. And we're going to go over text style. So the command for text is just mtext. Why is it called mtext? Because it's multiple lines text. So multiple line text. So it's mtext. So the style manager for mtext is just style. Click on it. We're going to modify standard again. Here we are specifying the text height to be 4. Just now we specified the height of dimension. Now we have to specify the height of text. Okay. Width, Arial, regular, apply, close. Okay. So text, again, click on text. Do not select the edges. Make sure you have there's some gap here, like that. Doesn't have to be very accurate as long as you're not writing on the edge. Okay, name, Dr. Nadia Hussaini, write in your name. Okay, so I want this to be bold. Maybe I can do that, like that. Okay, so it's not really centered. I can adjust this, bring it down, like that. How did I bring it down? I clicked on this square thingy. Move it up and down, move it up and down. Make sure object snap is not turned on because you won't be able to do that. Okay, so to do the rest of this, I'm going to do it myself. Get some gap. And then this would be your metric ID. Yeah, metric ID. Metric ID. So I don't have a metric ID, obviously. Staff ID. Yours should be metric ID. So I'm not going to tell you. Staff ID. Again, you take a look at it. Does it fit really well? If not, adjust. That. So I'm going to copy this and paste it over here. So just Control C. You can also use Command Copy. I'm just using Control C. Then again, pasting it here, pasting it here, and pasting it here. So this part is, I believe this is project date scale page. Okay. This is going to be project. Double click on the text to edit. The project will be Lab 1 Activity 2. So this did not fit. Let's make a short form. lab 1, activity 2. And then we have our, what else? Date scale page, okay. Double click to edit. Like that. Okay. So here I bolded name. So I'm going to bold staff ID as well. I'm going to bold date as well. But the rest of the text should not be bolded. So I'm not sure if you can use Control B to make it bold, like as in Word. You can try. I can try it myself as well. Control B. Yeah, it does make it bold. Okay. So the date for today would be 20 March 25. I think I'm gonna make it like this because it's not gonna fit if I write it like that. Okay, scale is going to be 1:1 at this point, and page would be 1 out of 1 because we only have one page. And then for the department over here, just gonna specify that and adjust. Text. Let's just try to approximate first and then we can adjust it later. Okay, Department of Computer and Communication Systems Engineering. What was it? We have Faculty of Engineering, University Putra Malaysia. Okay. Faculty of Engineering, Putra Malaysia. Why is it big? Okay, let's try to adjust this. So what I did was, I have this. I wanted to stretch it out so that the text can fit better in the box. So I'm gonna click on this triangle looking thing, drag it across like so, but it's still kind of big. I did this yesterday and I did not have this problem. Is my dimension correct? 1:1 should be correct. Okay, never mind. Let's just adjust it first. So I'm gonna click, make this upwards a bit, drag it like that. Okay, so it's not fitting. I'm gonna make it a bit smaller. Let's just change it. I don't know if you have this up here. Do you guys have this type of editor up here, or do you have to edit it manually? Can you guys check?
Yes, doctor, we have.
You have it as well. Okay. Edit. Tak puas hati. Why is it not fitting? We already calculated this. Okay, let's try 3.5. Okay. Okay. Let me try to drag this a bit more. No, it's not gonna look nice. Okay, I'm gonna just stay at 3.5. If you can make it to be 4 and it fits, good for you. I'm gonna adjust this later, okay, so that I can keep this class rolling. So the next part would be to actually insert UPM logo. So what you're gonna do is download UPM logo. I'm going to do that here. I'm going to use this guy maybe. I'm going to save it. Save image as logo, like that. So it's saved as PNG. I think you can use JPEG as well. So or if you already have it, good. If you don't, download it. And then the next step would be to insert the image. So here, okay, so the insert image is not in the panel. It's up here, called attach. So if you can't find the command in your panel, just type in attach down here, that, and specify where your file is. I'm going to specify logo UPM over here. And then here it's asking me insertion point, which means that where do I want to put it? I'm going to specify it on screen, and then the scale will also be specified on screen, meaning to say I will use my mouse to specify the insertion point as well as how big it should be. You can also specify a fixed size, but we're not going to do this today. Okay. So specify insertion point like that. Okay, like that. Very easy. Type in attach, select your file, specify insertion point, and specify scale on screen. Yeah. So now that I have my image, I can adjust this bit more because I'm not happy with this. Okay. What's this? Okay, now it fits. Okay, I'm going to give everyone 5 minutes to catch up. Let's continue at 10:32. I'm going to teach you how to make this as a template. Okay.
Sorry, Doctor.
Yeah.
Can you send the original drawing sheet in the WhatsApp?
Original what?
The drawing sheet. This one.
Oh, okay. Oh, I did not upload it on Putrabas. Let me share it on WhatsApp. Okay. Mm. Okay, send file. Lab 1. Sekejap sorry. Finding it. Lab 1, activity 1. So this is the old version of my slides. So I'm going to update the new one on Putra Plus, but the dimension is the same. Okay, but the link, Padlet link is not correct. FYI. Okay, another 2 minutes. I'm also going to put this here. Kenapa ni? Hmm. Okay, everyone okay? Did you guys manage to finish up to this part?
Yes.
Boleh. Okay. Was it very hard, or is the pace okay, or do you want me to go slower?
I think the pace is okay.
Pace is okay. Okay, so if you
Yes.
have any objections, please let me know. You want me to go slow down? Just unmute yourself and let me know, because I can't see you guys. So online lab is a bit hard. Okay, so let's move on. Now we're going to use our drawing, this title block, as our template for the rest of the semester. So how should we do this? So I'm going to go back to AutoCAD. Okay, so assuming you have all these details ready, but if you don't, that's okay. Just stick with me and find out how to do it so that you can redo it later better. Okay, go to layout like that. Okay, so layout, what layout does is that this is what you're going to print out later, either using your printer or either using your PDF, meaning to say you're going to save it as PDF. But I don't want it to be saved like this. This is not the best way to present your engineering drawing, of course. So what we will do is, first I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to modify layout. I'm going to edit page setup. Okay, again, I'm going to go over layout tab down here. I'm going to right click and I'm going to edit page setup like that. Okay. Okay, afterwards, printer, I'm going to select DWG to PDF. For printer, I'm going to select DWG to PDF. Click on it. And then paper size, we are currently working with an A3 title block. So I'm going to find, okay, this is very important. Do not get this wrong. It's going to be ISO full bleed A3. So there are two types of ISO full bleed A3. It is 297 by 420, 420 by 297. Click on the one that gives you a landscape like this. So ISO full bleed A3 420 times 297. Okay. So what to print? Keep it as layout, the scale to be custom. And then we are going to click OK. This is layout 1. Okay, the next one is delete this guy. Make it clean. Now what we have is a paper that is clean. Just delete it, select and click on delete button, or yeah, just delete or backspace. Okay, now go back to model. Copy this thing. I want you to copy the entire thing. Control C. Control C. And then go back to layout 1, paste it. Okay, now you can see that this thing is super huge. Okay, specify the insertion point. Go over here, paste it right at the edge. Well, it doesn't matter because we're going to change it. So now you can see that this is so big. We need to scale it. Okay. So select this thing and type in scale. Now we want to specify the base point to be the same thing again, but make sure you're zoomed in. Specify the base point and try to, as you're zooming in and out, try to align this to the paper as best as you can, like that. Okay, I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna repeat myself. Control Z. Okay, if you did not manage to catch that, focus here. So this is a clean A4 paper. This is my clean layout 1. I have put in the right settings. The full A3, full bleed A3 something. Yeah, you know what it is. Okay, back to model. And I'm going to select this. I can use the green guy or the blue box. Copy that, Control C. Go to layout, paste it, Control V. Now I'm going to specify the insertion point. Okay, just roughly. I know this is humongous. I need to scale it. Now I'm going to select this. Type in scale. Specify the base point. I'm always going to start from the left-hand side of this drawing. So I need to specify this point. This is where I'm going to start, right? Oh, no. I need to specify the paper. I'm going to do this again. Okay, Control Z. Okay, I need to select this. Sorry, the base point should be the paper. Scale. Scale. Okay, specify base point. Zoom in into the paper, find the edge. Don't know how you're going to do this without a mouse, but I hope you figured it out. Okay, the paper, the edge of the paper. You're not sure, you zoom in. Okay, click. Okay, now zoom out a bit. I think this is going to be hard for people without a mouse. Like that. This is the best that I can do. Okay. That is what I have so far. I'm going to save this so that I don't lose my progress. Save as. But we haven't done the most critical part, but I'm just going to save it anyway. So this is going to be lab 1, activity 2, and then my name. And then the file format that you're going to save this is in DWG. This means that you are saving it as a drawing. If you go back to it, you can edit it again. Okay, DWG 2018, because this one is this is going to be compatible with all AutoCAD versions. Even if you take it to a old computer, it's gonna work. Okay, so you can save it wherever you want. I am going to save it here, like that. Okay, everyone still following me? Have you managed to copy and scale it down to fit the A3 paper? I hope everyone did it. Okay, this is crucial. I want everyone to focus here. If you're doing something, you're trying to make this work, pause. You need to look here first, because this is a bit weird. Okay, so the next command, we talked about scale, right? We also talked about dim. That was the one that I forgot. So the not last, I think this is crucial for the template. This is called viewport. Type in viewport and click on viewports, like that. So this is going to pop up. I am going to select single and I am going to click OK. And then this command is asking me specify the first corner or fit. So I want to try fit. Let me try. No, okay, never mind. Viewport again. So my Mac viewport for Mac is a bit different. That's what I was trying to explore a bit just now. So single, okay. And then specify first corner. This is going to be my first corner. My opposite corner over here, like that. Okay, so once you've done the viewport, you're going to get your model space inside your template. Pretty cool. So you're going to see your A3 in your A3. So it's kind of like Inception. Okay, I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to do this, and then I'm going to discuss what this means to have a template. Okay, so I'm going to continue. So what does it mean to have this template? And when I did viewport, suddenly it's showing me, when I did the viewport, it's showing me this. So down here, we have a toggle viewport between model space and paper space. So what we are viewing now in layout is called the paper space. What we did in the model is called the model space. So this is paper space and this is model space. So if I go over here, this is what I'm going to print. If I go over here, this is what I'm going to edit. So if I click on layout 1 and I click on toggle viewport, I can actually edit within this paper space. I can zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. And I can also edit, meaning to say I can select, I can use the commands, but of course the panel is not going to be visible. But I can do like basic things like zooming in and out to just adjust the drawing. So I'm gonna zoom in and just adjust this nice enough for me to print out later. So this is what I have. I'm going to get rid of the grid. For printing, I prefer not to have the grid because I just don't like it. And this is how it looks like. I have my template. My template is showing my drawing. So if you are drawing something else, let's try it. If you are drawing a circle, okay, like that. Let's go back to layout 1. You can see it over here. Okay, I'm going to delete that. So the next part is saving this as your template. Save as. Now I'm going to select file format as AutoCAD drawing template .dwt. I'm going to save this file format as AutoCAD drawing template .dwt. Select that. And I'm going to write this as A3 template for ENG3201. Save. And my template measurement will be in metric. So my template description, this is my template for blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. You can just describe it however you want for class. Now I'm going to print it. Okay, you saved it as template. Oh, and then we're going to save this. We're going to print it, export to PDF. So page setup, you want to print layout 1. This is where your template is. ISO full width A3. The rest should be the same as our modification just now. And then I'm going to plot. And I am going to save this in the same place as what I did just now. And I'm going to save it. Now I'm going to view. Plot. Oh, tak boleh. Open the PDF file. Data. Okay, so this is what I need to submit on Padlet. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to go over to Padlet. Lab number 1. Activity. Oh, I should have separated this, but it's okay. Activity 2. Click your plus sign, upload, and find where your activity just now, which was A3 template, or you can submit the lab 1 activity 2. I'm just going to submit this. My submission, write your name please. Okay, publish. So I can easily check whether you've done your work correctly or not through the Padlet. So this is only for activities. For assignments, they should be submitted in the same way but on Putra Blast as assignment. I have not created the assignment yet, but assignments should be submitted through Putra Blast to work through it. Okay, so I'll see you next week then. Take care everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Doctor.
Doctor.
Bye. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Doctor.
Welcome. Bye-bye.